By another one, a Class D high school basketball state championship banner. I'm Scout Michael Craker.
And I'm Jack Doles. During the next half hour, we'll take you through the Northport Wildcats' magical season of 1987 and 88.
Everybody Has a Dream is next on TV 7 and 4.
Comes in bounds, stolen by Jason Stowe, and Northport wins the game! What a great finish. Listen to the crowd.
Everybody Has a Dream is being brought to you in part by Cal Excavating Company, Incorporated, Busby Oil Company, Stowe's Auto Service and Parts, George W. Anderson Insurance Agency, located in the historic depot, and Northport Public Schools.
Scott, this really was a season full of ups and downs for Northport.
Oh, it was, Jack. They came into the season after having won the Cherryland Conference, but then losing to a very tough Kingsley team in the district finals. So Coach Gordy Wick really didn't know how the team would be before the season began.
You go in first week of practice, you know, you're at the same level as everyone else. You always have high expectations. Every team knows they have some talent, but where you go from there is always, I think, a mystery.
The team's future was even more of a mystery after the first game of the season, a 75-59 loss to Glen Lake. But the Wildcats rebounded the next Tuesday as everybody on the team scored on the way to a 93-49 win over Alba. Then came the first big conference test of the year at Leland, and Northport rose to the occasion. Sander Scott poured in 22, and Dan Stowe added 20 on the way to a 76-73 win.
That was a barn burner right there. That was a real tough game, and kind of sets the stage for the rest of how we're going to match up in the Cherryland. We knew Leland was tough, and we're fortunate to win that one.
Then came the Traverse City St. Francis Christmas Tournament. A rematch with Glen Lake in the opening round ended the same way as the first matchup of the season. Sander Scott was hot, and Freddie Thomas was great on D, but the Lakers still came away with a 76-69 win in overtime. Despite the loss, Gordy was pleased with his club's performance.
So we were real pleased. We wanted to beat Glen Lake, but I thought we gave a good showing. I was pleased.
The task was no easier in the tournament consolation game. Northport had to beat John Gross's highly regarded Suttons Bay Norsemen. The Wildcats rose to the occasion, exploding to an 82-60 victory behind 25 points from Sander Scott. The Wildcats started 1988 with a loss to Baldwin, but then began racking up the victories. January was highlighted by a 30-point performance from Sander Scott on the way to a 97-41 win over Lake Leelanau St. Mary's. Northport then geared up for what Gordy Wick called turnaround week.
Just feel me raise, but ain't you come of age? I felt it all, like a cannonball.
Baldwin came to Northport on a Tuesday night. They had beaten us previous in the season by 10, the real fine team. And, of course, Leland that Friday. So we knew we had our hands full that week. We really tried to gear ourselves up for that week.
Not only did Northport gear up, they rolled. Sander Scott hit 32, and Fred Thomas poured in 29 to lead them to a 93-78 romp over Baldwin on Tuesday. Then they went into Leland and wrapped up the Cherryland Conference title with a win on Friday over the Comets. They used 20-point performances from Scott, Thomas, and Jason Korson on the way to an 86-69 win.
I thought that was a real key week in our season. After that, I thought our confidence built from there. So good things happened for that club.
Those good things included 5 wins against only 1 loss. On February 16th, Sean Busby came off the bench to score 24 on the way to a 119-46 win over Alba. The final tune-up was March 4th against the Leelanau School Indians. Again, every player on the team scored in the 88-55 win over a very good Leelanau School club. The stage was set for the incredible tournament run.
This really has been a fun season for us to cover because Northport's so fun to watch because of that running and gunning they do.
Yeah, and the guy responsible for a lot of the gunning was Sander Scott. As you might recall, Jack, we came out in early December and we profiled the 2-time All-Stooter. He has the kind of statistics that impress college basketball recruiters. In addition to being an honor student, Northport's Sanders Scott was the area's leading scorer last year, and he was named a Class D first-team All-Stater. Yet no college could have him. You see, Sanders Scott racked up all those stats last year as a sophomore.
I think that the other individuals on the team deserve sometimes more credit than they really get. You know, the other players on the team play defense really well. You know, they pass, and they do other things. They play basketball really well, and sometimes they don't get the credit in the newspaper and from the media as they should.
Sanders' modesty only adds to his contribution to the team. Just ask one of his biggest admirers, Coach Gordy Wick.
He's one of a kind. He works more all by himself than I've ever seen a kid. He'll stay after practice and work on fundamental things where you're not just shooting, fundamentals on defense, and he's one of a kind, I think.
The fate of the Wildcats doesn't rest solely with Scott. Northport is expected to challenge for the Cherryland Conference title by using speed and a disciplined team offense.
I think our running game is, we've been working on that a little bit, and for our team to excel, I think our running game will have to be as good as it can be.
My goal is the same as the teams, you know, to do well in the conference and district and everything.
Sanders Scott is giving Northport basketball fans a lot to look forward to. Another season of his efforts and up-and-coming Wildcat players inspired by them. And Jack Sander, of course, finished the season again as an All-Stater. He had 651 points for a 27.1 point per game average, and he's going to be back next year.
He is. They got the heart of their team back, but they're going to lose their soul. Fred Thomas, senior, he's graduating. He's one of those fist-pumping, in-your-face kind of players who just goes out and gets the job done.